Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Unity North Atlanta and to our Wednesday night experience. A little meditation, a little silence, a little reflection, a little sharing. It's a little of everything, and so I invite you into this space. I'm Reverend Richard Burdick, and I'm here, as always, with Michael Burke and Reverend Laura Lynn Bellamy, who is a member of our team for pastoral care, is also here with me. She'll be doing a little bit of sharing a little bit later. But we have an interesting theme tonight. Tonight's theme is all about questions. I'm going to invite you to be present to whatever question. Bring a question into this space right now, but an okayness with whatever question comes to your mind. You see, sometimes we at Unity North, we like to say that questions open up a field of something greater than we've ever known. And so I'm going to invite you to suspend any pre-existing knowledge that you brought into this space, and through questioning, questions found in song, questions found in poetry, questions found in the silence, to let wisdom flow and let something greater than we've ever known emerge here tonight. We like to say at Unity North that the quality of the experience will be determined by the quality of the questions that we are asking. So let the questions that we bring into our time today be of the highest quality. Maybe they're questions like, why am I here? Why do I exist? Why have I waited and hesitated? What is mine to do? What is mine not to do? What will it take for me to know the difference between what is mine and what is not mine? All questions that open up a field of possibility. Where am I called to serve? We'll ask that tonight. Who am I called to serve? Where is my highest good? And where is my good being suppressed? All questions that lead us and open us. And so many times in churches we come and we get answers. One person's answers or a collective group of answers. Tonight we're just going to be okay with the mystery. We're going to be okay with the questions. Breathe into that right now with me. Breathe into an awareness that the questions may lead you to some profound epiphany or revelation here this evening. Breathe with me. Take a deep breath. We're going to begin this time with just a brief prayer that Reverend Laura Lynn is going to share with us. And then we don't really have a plan as to what poem or song might be offered at any given moment. So we're going to live in the question of what comes next and let God lead what comes next. Okay, let's begin with this prayer that Reverend Laura Lynn offers us.
Questions that have changed my life. It occurs to me tonight. I remember the questions, I don't remember my answers because my answers were such a sharp contrast to where I was in the story of my life at that very moment. But the questions were so powerful that I have remembered them for the rest of my life, not the answers. So perhaps as you think about questions that have nudged you in one direction or another, questions that may have actually changed your life, I hope that you will allow the questions to speak to you and not worry about the answers. The answers will be snapshots to the here and now. You probably may not remember them years from now, but you will remember your questions. And thank God for that.
And so we enter this time with the breath. And we breathe deeply into the mystery, into the unknown. And breathe again. And we breathe again. And we breathe again even more deeply. And as we breathe more deeply, the mind chatter begins to slow and the right question to ask emerges. The one that the universe has placed in our heart, the cosmos is asking us to ask. And so we begin with our first chant. Why have I come to earth? Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come? And we'll offer an answer in song, but let your answer emerge. Please join me. Why have we come to earth? Do you Why have we taken birth? Why have we come to love, serve, and remember? To love, serve, and remember. Let's ask yet again. Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come to love, serve, and remember? To love, serve, and remember. To love, serve, and remember. To love, serve, and remember. Why have we come to earth? Before our first poem, sit in the question, why have I come to earth? Why have I been born?
Why have I come to earth? There are answers everywhere, and some answers are in the ashes. For some things must be burned, for others to be built. Our lives flow like water, but our lessons come like silt. Where we are is more important than anywhere that we can go. What we give gives us power and awakens us to the flow. To be in the breath I take is to ring within the tree. For to be inside myself, I must first grow out of me. It is between where we begin to understand that we are one. And for all we've yet to do, there is more. There is more that we have done. We carry in our vessel all the light we'll ever need. We are oak to the acorn, and God the soil to our seed. When we are flame to the fire, then to burn becomes our task. For there are answers Yes, answers in the ashes. Beyond what questions can ever ask.
Sit for a moment in the stillness of the ashes of the past, in the silence and the stillness of what has been. Let it all go. And let rise up from within you right now a phoenix that brings a whole new batch of wisdom from within you. The wisdom necessary for now, for tomorrow, that which transcends yesterday's. And so ask with me right now, where can I serve? Where can the phoenix of my being serve and become? Where is my love needed? Questions that guide us to places of wonder and awe and magic and love and goodness and opportunity. Ask with me right now, how can I serve today, sweet, sweet Spirit? Who needs my love today, sweet Spirit? Speak within me that I may understand. And where you lead me, I will follow. How can I serve today, sweet Spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Ask with me right now, who needs my love today? Who needs my love today, sweet Spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. As we enter our next period of just silent reflection, ask once again the question, how can I serve today? How can I serve today, sweet Spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I serve today, sweet Spirit? Sit within the question, within the silence. Our next poem.
Open your eyes, child. Open your eyes. It's not a dull gray world you live in. See the color of life refracted through curiosity. The world is so much more than a monotonous day-to-day existence. Every second of every day, there are mysteries waiting for you to solve. There are questions burning for answers. What is that star in the night sky? I'm glad you asked. Keep asking questions. Always ask questions. Never let up in your search for understanding. Ask the same question of different people. Question their answers. Challenge your perceptions. Keep asking questions. Can you? Should you? Why not? Why not? Don't settle for an answer. Find more questions. Questions will shape your life, will alter your course more than answers ever could. Answers. You know, answers are only questions that no one asks anymore. Don't ask questions to the man who watches the wind go by. Don't ask questions to the little girl who talks to trees. Don't ask questions to the pilot who quits his job mid-air. Don't ask questions to the teenagers who seek love. Don't ask questions to the rebels who have fight in them. Don't ask questions to the nuns who sing to the gods they believe in, but rather ask questions to those that pass you by every day without noticing you. Ask questions to those who study in order to work and who work in order to retire. Ask questions to those who wait till retirement to sigh. Ask questions to those who don't question the system. Ask questions to those who don't question the system.
Let us know tonight that questions, they breed progress. Questions breed evolution. And sometimes it's questioning authority. Sometimes it's questioning faith. Sometimes it's questioning God itself. And then by questioning God and by questioning authority and by questioning status quo, life becomes more. And we see beyond the veil to a new paradigm. Breathe that with me. But perhaps the greatest challenging question that needs to be asked is the question of ourselves. The inner authority, the inner critic, the inner fear. Let's question ourselves. And let's use this next question. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. The only place that God exists is in this now moment. And we may never see this moment again. So if not now, tell me when. 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 We may never see this moment, place and time again. If not now, if not now, tell me when. Ask the question of that person that you are at some deep place that has not taken the step or made the call, has not dared the risk, but has just stayed back, held back. Let the question lead you to your own evolution, to your own God becoming. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. You may never see this moment, place and time again. If not now, if not now, tell me when. One last time. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. You may never see this moment, place and time again. If not now, if not now, tell me when. When always reveals God's timing, but we must ask the question. Sit for a moment as you ask yourself, if not now, tell me when, in the silence. Our next poem.
If not now, tell me when. What blessings appear for me to see, all come down to what I saw. Is perception a gift of recollection? Can truth be seen by its own inception? Do I produce what I create? Or am I created by what I produce? Does a revelation actually reveal? Or am I revealed by the revelation? For in getting to know myself, I must let go of myself. All that I know that's related to vision conjures upon me a state of division. The painting is done before I begin, but it's up to me how the colors come in. For to see is all about what I draw from what it is I think I saw. Is a moment of divine clarity a clearer perception of this painted confusion? Do my mirrors somehow become windows? And are the windows part of the illusion? I don't have to see through to see within, but I must go within to see through. I believe I believe the answer to who am I lies in the question, who are you? Who are you? Why did I draw you into my life? And why did you draw me in yours? Is it to show that our happily ever afters are actually happily ever befores? I'm a child on both sides of a seesaw. As one goes up, the other goes down. And through a repeating point of balance, a constant comes around. And that is, I can truly trust this child in my playground, who knows that balance is not only something searched for, balance is something constantly found. Yes.
As children, we loved our questions. Playing on the playground, we discovered life, we discovered ourselves, and we discovered others by simply asking questions, and our mind expanded. And on that playground, as we learned about ourselves, we learned about our capacity to use questions to support yet another child. This familiar song is one that people within the New Thought community have asked for years and years and years. A question that brings tears to the minds of those that ask it. And on the playground and on the seesaw of up and down experience called this earthly journey, it brings tears to the one that is being asked of. And so maybe ask your divine self this question tonight, or bring a fellow child on the playground into your field in your mind right now. A child that's been hurting or has forgotten who they are. And let's ask the question that can open up the field. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you that you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Do questions have the ability to unite the planet? Tonight we say yes. Do the right questions have the ability to transcend our histories and our mistakes? To transcend our memories and our fears and our doubts? Yes, they do. The right question, properly placed, erases all that does not belong. And through the tears of remembrance, brings everything that does. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you You were less than whole. How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? Sit in the silence as you ask this question, either of yourself or of another. Some of my favorite questions have come from Unitarian ministers who use their mind to bring questions to the forefront that make you think. There aren't any quick answers. And so I'm going to ask our Unitarian minister in the house, Reverend Laura Lynn, to just speak briefly about questions.
The truth determines that I must give credit to God, Spirit, for asking me questions that have changed the course of my life at various times. All the questions that my own intelligence has come up with have been entertaining or life-saving or intriguing, but I was always aware that the question came from me, until one time it didn't. And then I was forced to open up my heart and say, there's a mystery trying to get in touch with me, and it's time for me to start paying attention. And I think the first time that happened, it probably saved the quality of my life, because I experienced the fact that this question that I was hearing with my inner ear was not my voice. It wasn't me asking me questions. It was someone else. And it was very simple. I was reading several books that were the compilation of an American seer named Edgar Cayce. And his estate had grouped his readings into categories, and I had read every category published until there was just one book left. And it was Edgar Cayce on the life of Jesus Christ. And these books were like popcorn to me. They were little paperback books by topic, and I had put off the one about Jesus the Christ because I had been raised with psychology and not religion. And so I finally, desperate to stay in touch with Edgar Cayce's legacy, read that book. By this time, I was married. We had our first infant in New York City. So clearly, Spirit can find you in New York City. And Jim had taken our firstborn to the playground to give Mother some quality time. And I put down the book, finished reading Edgar Cayce on the life of Jesus Christ. And I made an observation, a rather smug one. I thought to myself, one more book like this and you could wind up believing in him. Not Edgar Cayce, mind you. I was talking to myself about this Jesus the Christ person, that the readings that Cayce gave were so vivid, they read like screenplays to me, not because they were grandiose, but because they focused on this person This was no Easter bunny. This was no Santa Claus. This was a wonder worker, a healer, and a rabbi of the highest order. One more book like this and you could wind up believing in him. And that's when a question made itself known to me, and it was not my mind that inserted the question. I would later find out where that question was first published. It's in the Bible, for heaven's sake. But the question came, and who do you say I am? And in that moment, I saw a butterfly being pinned against black velvet. And I thought, you're not going to get free of this until you give an answer. And that answer was the second time my life changed. The first time was when my husband proposed to me in Rockefeller Center. But I'd already had to wrestle with that question months and months because, as I told him the first time, I'm too young to die. My mother raised me with stories about her life before she got married. And he convinced me it was safe to be married to him because I could do anything I wanted, keep my own name. So this was the second turning point in my life. And I finally said, I believe you are who you say you are. And so my adventures in Wonderland began. And by the grace of God, they haven't changed. That's probably the only answer to a question that I've remembered for so many years. But who do you say I am is the ultimate question for anyone of any religion who believes in a higher power that is walking through their life with them. Who do you say I am? And I touch that question to this day at times. Who do you say I am? I check in with the person that asks that question to me, the spirit that lives on. And I invite you to ask yourself, what is my relationship with a higher power, a companion spirit that's eternal, that's bigger than anything I can imagine? Who do I say that is, and what is our relationship? It's an eternal question, and the answers will continue to grow with you on your journey through this world. And I pray that it may never end for each of us. Blessed be, and may it be so.
Jesus the Christ asked such beautiful questions. And from his questions, as well as his answers, a love house was built that forever transformed the planet. Buddha did the same, using koans, questions, in order to open up the mind. Are you like the Buddha? Are you like the Christ? Who do you say you are? Krishna did it. Muhammad did it. Moses and Abraham all used questions to open up a field, to build a greater capacity to love. Lao Tzu, beautiful questions, not easily answered. And the love house was built upon those questions. And so we ask ourselves tonight, like these great masters, how do we build a love house? How do we make our life an instrument of love in such a way that the world will be forever transformed because we were here, being who we said we were, and asking the questions to help others recognize the same. Our next question, how do you build a love house? Ask that with me. How do I build a love house? How do you build a love house? How do you make it strong? How do you build a love house so it will last you long? It takes more to build a love house than wood and brick and glass. It takes sharing and caring, playing and praying to make a love house last. Sharing and caring, praying, playing. Jesus did all these things. Buddha did all these things. Krishna and Muhammad. In the cracks of our lives, we find the answers to that question, how do I build a love house? One more time, sing with me. How do you build a love house? How do you make it strong? How do you make it strong? How do you build a love house so it will last you long? It takes more to build a love house than wood and brick and glass. It takes sharing and caring, playing and praying to make a love house last. Our next period of silence, just ask that question. How do I build a love house? How do I build a love house in the silence? And so now our final poem of the evening.
Yes, this is actually a collection of questions written by fifth graders. Kind of beautiful, really. What's more important, the answer or the question? What's more powerful? Do all questions have answers? Do all questions have only one right answer? How do we make discoveries about the world? How do we find out about one another? Do we all ask the same questions? Do we all ask questions in the same way? Why do leaves kill themselves as soon as they feel yellow? What did the tree learn of the earth to confide to the sky? At whom is the rice grinning with its infinite white teeth? When prisoners think of the light, is it the same that lights up your world? Have you wondered what color April is to the sick? Who's the magnolia kidding with its lemon's aroma? Is the sky over Columbia a collector of clouds? Why does the rain weep with joy, with or without cause? How do the seasons discover it's time to change shirts? Why is sadness always pushing like a runner to overtake happiness? Who decided opposites attract? Why does crying help you smile? Why do clouds move away from me? Do I see the same moon that people in China see? Why do people judge each other by their actions when their thoughts might be more harmful? Does anger make everyone feel like they're on fire? Why is depression made out of salt water? Why can't Monday be Wednesday or Sunday? Why is ignorance so embarrassing? Is pine-scented insecticide a good idea? If our arm falls off during life, is it waiting for us in heaven? Who decided to call this earth? Who came up with figurative speech? Why are certain things inappropriate, and who decided? How is it that there are more questions than there are answers? We were wondering, why are rainy days called gloomy? Does rain fall because God cries when a young person dies for no reason at all? Why do flowers always bloom out and not in? Does winter always have to come before spring? How come people say the moon is made of cheese and not waffles, for example? When someone tickles you, why do you laugh? Why does anger feel like you are under a heavy weight? Why do things we don't know about scare us? Why do we make mistakes? Why did it take so long to discover the light bulb? Why are there choices that are complicated to some people and not hard to others? How come girls have long hair and boys don't? How come there are more girls than boys in the world? Why do you see the word men in writing every day and not women? Why do people have eyebrows? Why do we get taller when we get older? Why do dogs chase cats? Does every living thing have a way of communicating? And this, where does Jimmy Buffett get his songs? Why is a piece of paper not as valuable as a dollar bill, which is also a piece of paper? Why do cookies disappear fastest when you're not the one eating them? How come cake is served at parties? Why does everything have a name? Where does time come from? Are you in complete control of your life, or does fate just give you paths? Is there a limit to everything? Is anything perfect? Anyone? What happens if heaven gets too full? Will people get longer lives, or will heaven be expanded? How old is God? When God created the earth, did he want it to have so many problems? Do you have to eat and sleep when you're in heaven? I am what I am. Am I anything more? Is life a play and the ending already made up? Where is the child that I was? Inside of me still, or gone? that question, we have the answer.
And so as we prepare to bring our evening to the close, we ask ourselves, are we smarter than a fifth grader? The questions of fifth graders open such possibility, such consternation, such expansiveness. Silly, they make us laugh, they make us think, they make us feel. Are we smarter than a fifth grader? Maybe that's a question you can ask yourself this week as you find the questions of your heart, the questions of your soul, and let them fly, let them free, let them be. Take another deep breath with us. And on the exhale, we move from a far-off distant place back to the room where you're sitting, or those in the room back to this room where we are sitting. And we bring back a profound question that is only ours to ask and only ours to answer. And we embrace it as our own. Breathing once again deeply, maybe opening our eyes as we've opened up our hearts. Saying, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for everything. And thank you, God, for the questions. And so it is. And so it shall be. So I just have one more question for the evening. And that question is, what was this interesting time that we have created here this evening worth to you? As a minister of a church, it had some kind of value. What was it worth to you? Whether you be watching it here in the room, whether you be watching it live on the stream, or you be watching it tomorrow or Friday or this weekend or 3 weeks from now, I hope that it had value to you. We hope that. We do it because it has value to us. And this creative process of coming up with the topic each week, it has value to us, and I hope it does to you as well. And I'm going to invite you to demonstrate and to show that value by giving back, by being in a circular flow, by making a contribution to this community that comes up with creative things every Wednesday and every Sunday and classes in between, to the people that put these things on for your edification, for your exploration. If it has value, you can text to give. It's very easy to do. Text to give is a matter of seconds in order to do that once it's set up. You can mail in a check. We got a couple of checks today, and I'm just so grateful for those that are expressing the meaning of what we're doing here on Wednesday night. That check came in today, and I was humbled and gratified by the amount, because it really lets us know that Laura Lynn and Michael and I are doing something of great value. And that check came from clear across the country. So those of you who live in other states other than Georgia, we will receive your abundance as well, as you are asking the questions, how can I contribute and how can I participate in the Unity North experience? I thank you for being here. I was going to close with a one more question song, but I wanted to give Michael and Laura Lynn, just if there's any quick last things you want to say to those gathered, or any questions you want to ask them. What's on your mind, if there's anything there? Laura Lynn, we'll let you go first.
I have spent the last week getting better acquainted with my now 5-month-old newest granddaughter, Tempest. And we had entire conversations made up of looking at one another, and she would giggle, or I would giggle, or she would smile, and I would smile. And this could go on forever. And I also noticed that she was sharpening her ability to look around and just be with what she was seeing. She wasn't trying to figure anything out. And watching her face light up when she caught sight of her mother and daddy. To be in a world where questions have not yet been formulated. You don't know that there are such a thing as questions, was powerful for me. And so perhaps I'm being called to give a cautionary note, because for most of my young adult life, questions were my white rabbit. I'd be leaning against a tree like Alice in Wonderland and catch sight of a question and go chasing after it. And then there'd be another question and chasing after it. And I got answers, and they were useful answers. But I think we must also remember that there comes a moment when it's just time to go follow that white rabbit, that Holy Spirit of curiosity, and let it enrich our experience of this gift of life we all share. May it be so for you, for me, for everyone. And so
So not only are we asking the question, are we smarter than a fifth grader, are we smarter than a 5-month-old, or at least as smart as a 5-month-old? Open our eyes and look around and be present in awe. Michael, anything you want to say?
Oh, I just want to say that I want to express thanks for everyone that watches us on Wednesdays, and thank you, Rich and Laura Lynn, for these events we do. I love them, and I would like to say thank you to however Jimmy Buffett does get his songs. Yes, thank you.
All right, thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks to Sebastian and to Wes in the booth that make it all happen. We're going to leave you as we sign off, and you have a few announcement slides. This last question, as you ask yourself, how am I going to live? Good night, everyone. How then shall I live? I shall live my life in faith, knowing God as my source. I shall live, I shall live. How then shall I live? With conviction of my heart, rising high above the world. That's how I shall live, that's how I shall live. That's how we shall live, that's how we shall live. That's how I will live, that's how I will live. How then shall I live? Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.